There is a beautiful story we learn about John the Baptist. The Bible says there was no man who was born from a woman who was great just like John the Baptist. It says there was no greater prophet that was born than John the Baptist. And you have to understand the people or the prophets that came before him. Many performed miracles. Moses is regarded as a prophet. Moses parted the Red Sea. You have people like Elijah who raised someone from the dead. You have Elisha who performed miracles and healed leprosy and performed many miracles. But the Bible still says, out of all those prophets, out of many of the prophets that came before him, there was no one greater like John the Baptist. And what made John great? Did he perform miracles? Barely. The Bible doesn't say much in terms of him performing miracles. We're always told about him being someone who baptized. He was someone who pointed people to Christ. And the Bible says that there came a man who was from God. And this man did not come to speak of himself, but he came to point people to Christ. That's what made him great. That he did not live a life where he witnessed about himself, or the attention was, look at me, I can do this. But he lived a life where he was completely surrendered to the will of God and pointed people to Christ. That's what made him great, serving God. And I don't know if you remember this, when the mother of James and John, the sons of Zebedee, the sons of thunder, their mother makes a request to say, when Christ is reigning in his glory, can either of her sons be on the right and the left-hand side and reign with Christ? And Jesus says, you have missed the point. It's not those who are elevated in terms of status that I regard as great, but those who are great are those who serve. So the greatest among you is the greatest servant. So we sometimes chase wanting to be great. We sometimes chase wanting to be known, pointing people to ourselves. That's why you see all these false prophets doing all these things, pointing people to themselves. And God has a harsh reality for them, because they'll also be thrown with the devil, with death, in the lake of fire. That's how much God detests such actions. But the greatest prophet to ever live was the one who did not speak of himself, was the one who surrendered his life for the service of Christ. He wanted Christ to increase as he decreased. So that's what we should also know, that if we want to be great in the eyes of God, then we must be the biggest servants when it comes to the things of God, when it comes to his people. I thought I should share this. Grace and peace.